We touched on it a little bit on Tuesday night, Gary. Has it been disruptive in any way?
Well, it's not been the normal week, that's for sure, with the game. But from our point of view, we've then tried to have as normal week as possible training today, and obviously we'll finish it off tomorrow. Would we have liked the game? Yeah, of course we would have. But all focus now is on Port Vale.
And the fact that it's going to be next week and you lose a league game, is that an issue at all? You sort of fall behind early, if you like.
No, I don't. I've not really given it too much thought. It is what it is, and we have to get on with it. And that's the decision the EFL have come to.
Port Vale, I watched a bit of their game with Cardiff City, who've just come down. Port Vale just come up,
yes.
And they more than matched them, which suggests that it's not going to be an easy game. No,
definitely not. I think you only have to look at the amount of players that they've brought in this summer. They've been well backed by their owner, and it just goes to show you like you just rightly said, the performance against Cardiff, what we expect on Saturday now.
And I'm sure as a fellow head coach slash manager, you'd have been pleased that they stuck with Darren Moore when they went down, and he's brought them back up. Yeah,
I think Darren's record speaks for itself, doesn't it? So he's managed in this league as well, and he's got experience in that. So it made total sense for them to do that. And like I say, backed him last year, and they've gone again this year with him. And in terms of the amount of money that they've given him available to spend in the transfer market, and like I say, we'll see on Saturday exactly how well he's done with that, because they are a good team.
Won your first home game, won a number of home games last season in that second half as well. How important is that home advantage?
Well, from our point of view, we don't put any extra, focus on it. We just concentrate on whether it was Barnsley away last week or Port Vale this week. The preparation goes into it exactly the same. In front of your own supporters, obviously, we know the connection between the players and the supporters here and how it's growing, and we've got to try and keep that going, but we also know that the fans play their part, and that's greatly appreciaed.
Because they often say, don't they, win your home games, pick up points away from home. Is it a recipe for success?
But if you give, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't really particularly put any extra incentive on that game or that game. It's the next game, and we've got to try and win it.
Been another good atmosphere though. I think the Port Vale fans are travelling just down the A50, selling out, and it'd been a bit like last week at Barnsley, a bit like the week before against Mansfield. Really good atmospheres, which helped the players, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember my time at Salford. We played Port Vale midweek, and they came out in their numbers and made a right noise as well. And I fully expect that again on Saturday. But that adds to us, like you say, and our players enjoy playing in front of that, and we learn loads about them as well.
I will ask my normal question at some point during this interview.
Okay, I'll just wait for that.
But you've actually brought somebody in since we last spoke, Sebastian Revan. But what can you tell us about him? People will have seen him, obviously.
Yeah, first and foremost, he's a wonderful lad. Enjoyed our conversations with him, and then obviously, we've got to thank Wrexham for allowing us to have him. He's a very good footballer with a bright future ahead, and we're delighted that he's came to choose us for the next stage of his football progress. And he's a good 1v1 defender. He likes to get forward, and so he'll fit in with how we want to play.
Good pedigree as well. I mean, that Aston Villa youth team that he was a part of, I know he didn't play in the game here that Burton played against him because he'd moved on loan, but that was a really good side.
Yeah, like you just said there, he's had a fantastic upbringing, hasn't he? And what's impressed me about him was that when he was young, he wanted to go out and play games, and that's what he's done. And he wants to just continue playing football, and that's a really big thing for a young player.
As far as the players that you already had, Chauke came off at Barnsley, and you were a little concerned about him. How's he looking?
Yeah, no, he's trained today, so we'll see how he goes from that. But we're hopeful of him being fit. Jack Armour's back training as well, so that's been a really positive, because we thought that initially that could be a lot longer than what it's been so far, and that's a credit to him and the work that's gone in, and the medical team have done brilliant with him.
Terence Van Kooten. Have we got the results of this scan?
No, it's still in negotiations in the sense of the next step forward and what to take. So we hopefully have something by the end of play today.
Something to look forward to on Saturday.
Yes.
As far as the other players are concerned, anybody going out, anybody else likely to come in? I have to ask.
Yeah, no, I would certainly expect you to ask, and we're hopeful that we can bring in a few more. We've got a meeting after this one, so I'll have a better idea of how far we can go and who's available to bring in. And then there are obviously players that need to go out and play. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't want too many of them sat happy to not be playing. So, we've had conversations, and, it's all well and good me saying that, but they have to have clubs that obviously want to take you as well.
And without being able to change the transfer window, it must become increasingly frustrating as it moves on, knowing that perhaps a Premier League club's going to release somebody to come on loan. Perhaps you might be able to. I mean, it's just it's a great
domino rally, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've said what I think about it, but obviously, the powers that be are far more important than me.
Just finally, it just occurred to me, 12:30. Does that make a big difference? I know you prepare for kickoffs and time and all that, but 12:30s in the past have sort of traditionally, if you like, been a little bit
I know what you mean.
To start with.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think the fact that it's a local derby, the atmosphere that will be here in the ground as well, I think that'll just give that game the lift. But I know what you're saying about a 12:30 kickoff. Means you've got to be up earlier.
I'm always up early. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Gary, sticking with the window briefly. Tuesday would have given some of the players who might go out the opportunity to put themselves in the shop window.
Exactly.
Added frustration.
We wanted to get minutes in players. Like you just rightly said, it was the opportunity to get some in front of the shop window. But we've now got to concentrate on Port Vale and then address that again on Tuesday.
Yes, and that's sort of my next question. Is that presumably you might put out something a similar sort of side.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment in time, if you look at our squad in terms of depth, that's the 10 that would have started at Tranmere versus the 10 plus the 10 at Barnsley. That was it. So everybody was getting minutes, and we've only added Seb since. So there is an air of caution in terms of protecting some, and then obviously there's a decision to add the certain ones to get minutes as well.
Mm-hmm. In terms of what you're looking at in the market, arguably, and some fans suggested it once Kegs went off on Saturday, James Jones would have, if he was fit, would have been that experienced midfielder that you wanted.
Exactly.
Is an experienced midfielder on the shopping list?
Yes.
If possible.
Yeah. I don't mind admitting that, because like you just said, it's there for all to see. So admitting it's one thing, finding one and then convincing is the other thing.
Yeah, it's not quite as the same as a prolific striker.
No,
but it's also they're also rare.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like you say, the ones that we're looking for and the types that we're after.
Mm-hmm. In terms of Sebastian, do you? It's too obvious perhaps, but do you see him as maybe fulfilling the role that Owen Dodson fulfilled last year? Well,
he can play there. He's not just a left wing back. He can play in midfield. I've seen him play in midfield as well. So he does provide us with again that flexibility in the squad, and like what we were saying before, to bring quality in, and the ability to play in different formations and a different position helps us make our squad bigger without having extra numbers.
Yeah, there's another version.
Yeah.
So if, for instance, Kegs wasn't fit, you have 2 or 3 players who possibly could fit in his role.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Williams, maybe even Lofty.
Yeah, and maybe Seb as well. Yeah. So that's been good for us.
Yeah. Okay. The second half at Barnsley, for me, just seemed out of character for the sort of team you've built here. Would you agree?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Can't put a finger on why that should suddenly happen.
It wasn't down to, and I never think it is down to just one thing. I think that, there was a couple of things that led to that. You've just touched on one with kegs coming off as well. I was having to deal with that situation, but I think what it provided was a wonderful opportunity for the young lads that we've got, and there's no denying that. At this moment in time, I actually went, after I said it, I went through the squad and looked, and it went Jake Beasley 28, Sibbs 26, and then the rest after that, you're 24, 25, 24, all the way down 22, 21, Charlie Webster. So you can't give somebody that experience of what they had to suffer and go through. Sometimes you have to let them go through it. And it was just a wonderful opportunity for them to learn. Will that be the last time they'll ever play in a game like that? Probably not in their careers. But what they have been this week is they've learned how to try and stop the momentum and how to try and change it.
Yeah.
And so from my point of view, I think that's such a valuable lesson for them.
I thought there was perhaps an element that people tend not to note, and that's just that the other team got things right.
Yeah, sometimes it is what you can get away with. Excuse me. Connell's shot from distance. It could go out for a corner off Geordie's save. Who knows? It's all ifs and ands, isn't it? But I think one of the things, again, from my point of view, was, like I say, Connell subject to transfer talk. You've got Keller Dunn subject to transfer talk, and then add McGoldrick into the mix. All three experienced players at this level and more, and just had that bit of know-how, bit of game management. And so again, that's something that we need to try and address in the last couple of weeks of the window, in my opinion.